Tohunga ora, ki tohunga ora ki a tātou. Kia ora.
I call Rino Tirikatene.
Tēnā koe, Mr Chair. I too want to acknowledge the contribution from the previous speaker, Tūtaho Nuku Korako, who chaired the Māori Affairs Committee in the 51st Parliament, which conducted this inquiry, which has led to this bill. As we're in the committee stage, sir, this bill is a very short bill. It specifies to the coroner that there are certain matters which must be taken into account in terms of the decision about to allow family members to be with their deceased loved one who's under coronial care. So Section 26 outlines those matters, and we're inserting this new clause. What has become very clear, sir, is that we have this amendment bill to the Coroners bill. We also have a code of practice which specifies that tikanga Māori and ethnic respect for the spiritual beliefs, customs and those sorts of matters must be taken into account. We're putting this now into law through this bill. And I just want to remark, sir, that I certainly hope that this will lead to a change in practice, because I've just been recently dealing with a constituent. This is an example, a constituent who lost a loved one in tragic circumstances, a young man. It was a shock to the whānau, and the issues that the whānau had to deal with being with the District Health Board, the mortuary, and then also trying to communicate with the coroner who was in Auckland. It was just a hellishing exercise for that family. But had it not been for the fact that a support person for this whānau was a previous member of the DHB, and another close associate of the whānau knew the coroner in Auckland, this family was utterly distraught. They did not, and they just felt entirely shut out. And I think the lesson from their experience was that the district health boards are not conducive. They're not very welcoming places in situations where there is a tūpapaku. The treatment that the DHBs are treated, it was just a terrible experience for the family to go through. And they came to me because they were concerned that what about whānau that don't have connections to other, who don't know the DHB members, chairs, who don't know people high up in the coroner's office or the coroner. They're powerless. They're powerless. And so I guess it was a lesson that they wanted to impart to me, that things aren't right at a practical level within the district health boards and when the jurisdiction of the coroner is called upon. Things aren't right, and their example, I think, is just a case in point. Those are the things that we want to try and eliminate through this bill. And those are the matters I think that the coroner must take into account and will be more timely to those sorts of concerns. And I think the district health boards have a part to play in that as well. So I certainly hope, sir, that by this bill we can see some practical changes happening at the coalface, which are impacting on whānau. And that is definitely what we intend to do by this bill, and I commend it, and I certainly hope that we can get those practices happening right from the legislation all the way through to the operational side, where families come into interface with these organisations. Nō reira, kia ora tātou katoa.
I call the Honourable Andrew Little.
Thank you, Mr Chairman. I just want to take a brief call first.